Today we're going to be ranking all of the Scream franchise third acts. Let's get into it.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney. He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
I'm Pamela, welcome back to my channel. So I've done a lot of rankings on my channel. If you haven't seen them before, feel free to check out my Scream ranking playlist. There are a bunch of different rankings in there. I did an overall ranking of the ghost faces, just on my personal preference, as well as a ranking based on just their reveal and a ranking based on their motives. I've also ranked the movies, I've ranked the opening scenes, but I have yet to do a ranking of the third acts, which actually has been on my list of videos to make. I've been wanting to make this for a while, but kind of just forgot about it. But then I did a live stream the other day and someone actually requested it, so I figure why not do it today. Just a reminder that this is my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me, leave a comment, let me know what your ranking is. That's what I love about the Scream franchise, that we can all have different opinions. Pretty much everyone will have a different answer, so I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. So coming in last place at number 6, I have Scream 3. Now I know a lot of people will disagree with this, and that's totally fine. For me, there is just something about Scream 3's reveal that I don't really like. I've said before that Roman Bridger on paper is great, Sydney's long lost brother. When you just read about it on paper, it's like a great idea, but the execution of it, I just did not care for. First of all, I don't like that Sydney and Roman had 0 scenes together. So you can just tell the moment that he reveals himself to her, the look on her face is like, who are you? I don't even know who you are. I wish they had at least one scene together so she knew who he was. It would be a little bit more of a betrayal. I don't know, something about Scream 3's reveal just doesn't do it for me. Don't get me wrong, I love Scream 3, but it is last on my ranking of the movies overall. So I had to put the reveal in last place also because that's probably my least favorite thing about Scream 3. Roman is also just not my favorite Ghostface, so for that reason I have it in last place. Which brings me to number 5. In 5th place for my ranking of third acts, I have Scream 6. Now I was kind of torn on this. I almost had Scream 6 in last place, which means Scream 3 would have been in 5th place, because the Ghostface reveals for Scream 6 is my least favorite. If I was ranking Ghostface reveals, Roman would be above the Scream 6 Ghostface reveals. However, the set piece for the Scream 6 third act is really good in my opinion, and I like the setting for the Scream 6 third act more than the Scream 3 third act. So that's why I was torn on where to place these two. I don't really care for the Scream 6 Ghostface reveal, but I do like the setting a lot more. I love the shrine, I love that there's a lot more going on, and certain aspects about the reveal have grown on me a bit. I still don't care for the Scream 6 Ghostface reveals, but Dermot Mulroney's performance has grown on me a little bit. Almost all of his lines in the reveal make me laugh, which honestly I have a lot of fun when I watch it. I personally do not care for Ethan's performance whatsoever, and overall I'm just disappointed with the Ghostface reveal. But pretty much just because of the setting with the shrine and everything that's going on in the shrine, I do prefer the Scream 6 final act over Scream 3. Next up in 4th place, I have the Scream 5 final act. Again, this is not my favorite, but it has grown on me as time goes by. Every single time I watch it, I like it a little bit more. I do think that I prefer Scream 5 over Scream 6 overall. I know there's a lot of people out there who won't agree with me. I do think that Scream 6 has a lot more fans than Scream 5. But for me, Scream 5 does just feel like more of a Scream movie to me. Scream 6 in a way almost feels like a spin-off, in my opinion, if you know what I mean. I will admit that when I first watched Scream 5, I did not care for Richie or Amber at all. But as time goes by, they have grown on me a little bit. At first, I didn't really care for Amber's performance after the reveal, but I will admit she has some good lines. I do kind of like her reveal shooting Liv, and then she says, "Welcome to Act 3. I also kind of like Richie's reveal, you know, coming down the stairs, just like Billy Loomis, and then he stabs Sam. That's pretty good. Plus, I also like that we get to return to Stu Macher's house. Richie has grown on me a little bit. He has a lot of funny lines like,
Hiding from murderers.
I also like when Sydney is like, "Why didn't you come out? I told you to come out." And he says,
I'm not gonna come out. You're shooting everything. Holy shit, it's Ghostface.
I like his performance in the kitchen with Sydney.
That checks out. Anyway, it suck balls.
I also love the way Sam killed Richie, you know, stabbing him like 22 times, I think it was, slitting his throat and shooting him in the head for good measure. So yeah, although Scream 5's third act is not my favorite, I do prefer it over Scream 3 and Scream 6's final act. Next up, coming in third place, I have Scream 2. Again, I like the setting for this in the theater, in the college. I like Nancy's reveal. I like her motive, you know, revenge for her son's murder.
Mine is just good old-fashioned revenge.
I like Laurie Metcalf's performance. She has those crazy eyes. I just think Scream 2 overall was a pretty good follow-up to the original. Of course, you can't beat the original, but Scream 2 was pretty solid. I like Mickey as well. I really like that Mickey gives us our first unmasking of the franchise. And I also love that he says, "Surprise, Sydney," just like Stu did in the original. I've said before on my channel that I find Derek's murder to be pretty sad. I feel like Derek's murder is one of the saddest of the franchise, but it kind of just gets overlooked because I don't really think that he's like a fan favorite character. He was a good boyfriend to Sydney, and him being tied up and pleading for Sydney to believe him over Mickey and then just getting shot, that kills me every time. I also like how Gail walks out first before Nancy, and Sydney for 1 second thinks that like Gail was the other Ghostface, Mickey's partner. I also love that Sydney shoots Nancy in the head the same way she did with Billy. And I also like that Cotton comes to save the day. So yeah, I have Scream 2 in third place as far as final acts. Up next, coming in at number 2, I have Scream 4. Now, Scream 4 is interesting because it almost kind of has 2 third acts. First, we have, you know, the ending at Kirby's house, and then we also go to the hospital. So I just find that very cool and different. I love Jill's reveal as well as Charlie's reveal. Both of their reveals were pretty shocking. For me personally, I did not see Jill's reveal coming. I remember watching this in the theaters and being absolutely shocked. I did not suspect her at all. I know there are people out there who say that they did see it coming. I personally did not. For Charlie, you might have suspected him, but I still really like his reveal. Being tied up like that as if he's a victim, you know, mirroring Stephen Orth from the first movie. Kirby wins the trivia game, is so relieved, unties him. She's like, "Charlie, I did it, I won." And then he stabs her and says, "This is making a move."
Kirby, this is making a move.
I just think Jill's reveal overall was so good, and this is what Roman's reveal should have been in Scream 3. Jill's reveal was far more of a shock and a betrayal because we got to know her. We spent a whole movie with her. You know, Sydney thought, "This is my family member. Of course, I can trust them." That's why this was one of the biggest betrayals. With Roman, It's like she didn't know him at all, literally didn't have any scenes with him. You know, just imagine if Roman had already been Sydney's brother, like to her knowledge. Imagine she already knew that this was her brother, and then he revealed himself as Ghostface. That would have been a big betrayal. Or he didn't have to be her brother already. He could have still lied and been someone else, but they should have at least had some scenes together. I think that Jill's reveal is the second best in the whole franchise. After the original with Billy and Stu, Jill's reveal is the best. And also, you know, at the time we think that Kirby died, we of course now know that she's alive, but at the time we thought Kirby died. So that was a big death for the movie because we got to know and love Kirby. And these movies need big deaths, and that is something that was missing from Scream 6. Everyone survived the final act in Scream 6. Mindy survived the subway attack, which should have killed her. Chad should have died. I mean, 2 Ghostfaces attacked him, and between the 2 Ghostfaces, they stabbed him like over 20 times, and he survived. So that's just another reason why I don't really care for Scream 6's final act. But with Scream 4, we thought Kirby died, so that was great. And also, Jill shooting Trevor was like one of the craziest scenes. And then I love the whole Ghostface monologue with Sydney.
And I don't need friends, I need fans.
I love Jill turning on Charlie and stabbing him in the heart. And then I absolutely love Jill beating the crap out of herself. This is one of the craziest scenes in my opinion. She really goes above and beyond. Stabbing herself in the shoulder, ripping out a chunk of her hair, running into the picture frame, throwing herself onto the table, and then finally collapsing next to Sydney. It's just so good in my opinion. And then, you know, she's almost gonna get away with it. And then in the hospital, Dewey lets her know that Sydney might make it. Jill kind of gives herself up where she slips up with the whole matching wounds with Gail. I just love it. I love Scream 4's third act. I will say Scream 4 is my favorite sequel after the original Scream 4 is my favorite overall. So I just love the third act, and for that reason I have it in second place. Now you guys know I had to give first place to the original. Nothing beats the original. The first Scream movie will always be number 1 in like all of my rankings. Whether it's the opening scene, final act, Ghostface reveal, just nothing beats the original. Like Sydney says,
don't f with the original.
Just nothing will ever beat Billy and Stu's reveal. It's absolutely fantastic. I love everything about the third act in the first movie. I love the scene before the reveal with Stu and Randy. You know, they run up to the house, they're begging Sydney to believe them over the other one, and Sydney says, F both. I also love the fact that Billy faked his death, so you kind of take him out of the equation. You think he's innocent before stumbling down the stairs and giving us one of the best reveals, if not the best of the whole franchise.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I also love seeing behind the scenes footage of it. I love hearing the cast talk about it. It took them like at least a month to film that. Billy and Stu's performance after the reveal is absolutely amazing, and the way Sydney takes them both down, you just can't beat it. I absolutely love the way Sydney turns the tables on them, playing their own game, putting on the costume, attacking Billy with the umbrella before shooting him in the head. And you know, dropping the TV on Stu was very creative. I also love that she gives us the first unmasking of the whole franchise. You know, Mickey was the first Ghostface to do it, but she technically was the first one. And not to mention the song at the end of the movie. First Cool Hive by Moby, great song, perfect way to end it. The song is so nostalgic with that scene of, you know, Stu's house, the sun coming up, It just does not get better than that. So for that reason, I have the third act of the first Scream movie in first place. There you have it. That is my ranking of every single third act in the Scream franchise. Please leave a comment down below and let me know how you would rank these. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please also make sure you turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future posts, future Scream theories, or future Scream 7 announcements. Any sort of update we get will be posted here to this channel, and I expect we're going to get one soon. It's been a while. Please also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please also go subscribe to my second YouTube channel. And please also consider becoming a channel member here on my main channel. You will gain access to exclusive content and these fun little emojis that you can use in the comments on all of my videos or in the live chat whenever I have live streams. You can find the link to join down in the description, or you can find the join button on my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.